For February 5th. Kathy, would you start us off with a roll call, please?
Please respond by stating present. Councilman Ronayne.
Present.
Foberg.
Present.
Liebelt.
Present.
Reif.
Present.
Johnson.
Present.
Reinbold.
Present.
Langer. Nostrup. Mayor Shoneman.
Present. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Our first order of business will be to approve this week's agenda. We will be striking item 7B from our new business category as they have additional and changed ideas on dealing with that particular issue. So we will not be voting on that tonight, but I would take a motion to approve our agenda with that amendment.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Johnson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We've got approval of minutes from January 22nd meeting, as well as a payroll section of the City Council minutes from January 22nd as amended.
Move to approve as amended.
Second.
Motion Ronayne, second Reif. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion carries. We've got a single item on our open forum, a visitor here to speak with us. His name is Vern Presler, and he's going to be sharing some of his thoughts on reviving the Moccasin Creek. Vern, welcome. Make sure the little green light is on and give us, kind of limit yourself to a few minutes of time, if you would be so kind, so we can keep this thing moving forward. Green on the bottom of the base of the microphone.
Okay, all right. I'm Vern Presler, and I want to thank you for having me here this evening. I was born and raised here in Aberdeen. I spent 20 years in the Navy. I figure I went around the world 3 times. I came back and I retired back here in Aberdeen because I thought it was the best place to raise my family. But as a child, I spent a lot of time on the Moccasin Creek. People call it the Mog. I think that's kind of bad rep for it, because it was nice. The Anderson Park out there, the Anderson building. My parents had their 25th anniversary there. It was nice. It was one of the main parks here in Aberdeen, and but it has went down, and I think that something needs to be done. And I talked to my Legion group, and we talked and decided we'd want to give something back to Aberdeen. And we thought that we could kind of do something like Sertoma done out at the Wiley. And I remember when that was just a slough out there, but it's nice now. It's something that we can be proud of, and I'd like to do the same thing with the Mog. I've talked to the mayor a little bit, and he referred me to Robin, and I talked to Robin, and I just thought it would be better to come down here to the commissioners and talk to you guys and have you kind of behind us also. And then I want to go out and talk to the community also and have this as a community thing of doing together, not just the city, not just the Legion, not just the community, but everybody. We all live here, and we all should reap from what we can do if we want to. You know, we can set out benches. We got a beautiful bike trail going alongside of it, and I just think that taking it one step at a time, one phase at a time, that we can do something to better Aberdeen and have a better view of when you come into town. First thing you see is the Moccasin Creek. And I've been through a lot of places, and the weeds are higher than almost than the bridge. And I don't think it puts out a good example for what Aberdeen really is. And I'd like to get everybody together on board so we can accomplish something and start out on a good foot and together, instead of just trying to, I know we made some studies, I know we decided things that we could do and things that we should do. And I don't know what all entailed of this, but I figure if we started out someplace and get a fountain out there so that people could see something is done, that we could go forward and beautify the Moccasin Creek back to what it was. Any questions? Alrighty, thank you for your time.
Well, Vern, appreciate you coming in and bringing this packet. This is really nicely put together packet. Appreciate your service in the military. And
Thank you.
I know that it's something that we've definitely been having some conversations with around our city hall, and hopefully we can get some positive momentum, because you share the
One
concerns
thing
of
I
a lot of
forgot.
citizens.
I'm sorry.
I said you share the concerns of quite a few people that have brought those to us over the years, the condition that the MOG has gotten into.
Well, one thing I did forget is we got a donation box right inside the door at City Lights where we meet at. It's a red box and it has, you can drop donations in. Anytime you people want to drop in a donation, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Vern.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We have 4 items in our consent calendar. We've got a single license, we've got setting a few bid dates, a lottery notice, and a community
I'd
event
like to get these
permit.
back.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
Sure.
Pass them down.
Yeah, you should. Plus I scrolled on it, so I don't know if it would be as useful for it.
But you're right, it was nicely done. Yeah,
It really is,
it's
yeah.
an intriguing idea.
I would take a motion on our consent calendar items for the evening.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Reinbold, second Liebelt. Any questions or comments on any of these items? All right, then we'll take our vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving along to our new business, we've got the possible approval of a purchase agreement for the city to permanently acquire the land presently being leased from the Presentation Sisters. Ron, were you gonna walk us through a little bit about that agreement? It says Ron Robin on there.
Sure, but Mayor, you're welcome to hop in whenever you want. Item 7A deals with the consummation of the lease agreement that we had entered into late in 2023 with the Presentation Sisters to purchase now those same lots. And I have provided with the council with colored copies of the plat, which shows that it's a new plat that will be submitted. But all of the land on that plat is currently owned by the Presentation Sisters, and what you have see highlighted both in yellow and then outlined in green, that would be the land that will be acquired under this purchase agreement. The purchase agreement itself has been negotiated through Presentation's counsel, Zach Peterson, and it is nice when you're dealing with people who all are on the same page and working towards the same goal. And so negotiating this agreement was a pleasure, frankly. And we look forward to closing probably sometime in late February or early March. And I understand at that time there might be some kind of a recognition of that actual closing and the transfer of the land from the sisters to the city. What the purchase and sale agreement does is it memorializes the purchase amount of $1.75 million for effectively the land that is now containing the Strode and the parking lot. There's a soccer field to the north, and then north of that and to the east is the dome area, and then of course the land from there north to the Fairgrounds Road, basically. So what you have here is a purchase agreement that we're asking that the council approve, and then Robin would be authorized to formally execute it, and we can move forward with the closing.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this as well. And I would say that I'm really proud of how this thing came together and all the hard work that we put in. Really like to thank the presentation sisters, especially Sister Mary, who was kind of the spearhead on their end. And, I think that their goal of really maintaining and continuing a legacy of community service to Aberdeen, South Dakota is exemplified in this agreement. And if you've been to the Dome or the Strode Center in the last couple of months, you'll see a lot of community engagement, a lot of activity, and just a heck of a lot of good use out of that facility, which was really critical and important to the sisters and their mission. And so I think that this is a good move. I appreciate all of your guys' help with this as well. And so I think that we'll be remembered fondly for having taken this step for the future of Aberdeen.
Move to approve the acquisition of the presentation real estate that we have been renting up until this time.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilwoman Liebelt and a second from Councilwoman Fulberg. Does anyone on the council have anything else? Josh, go ahead.
Just looking at the plan, it looks like this has access from Fairgrounds Road. Is that the ultimate plan?
We've put in what we anticipate will be right of way and will be access, yes, from Fairgrounds Road. And all the way from 15th Avenue north on through up to Fairgrounds Road.
It doesn't obligate us to do anything at this point, but it does provide an opportunity to be able to access, especially for that Lot 5. There's a lot of remnant property outside of the Dome that might be utilized for something other than what its current state is. So we just wanted to make sure we've got something that isn't a dead end that stops right at the Dome, whatever, that it's important that we get that option available to us.
Thank you.
Anything else from the council? All right, then. Kathy, would you give us a roll call vote on this one, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Fulberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you all very much on that one. Really appreciate it. Special to me. We will move along to, as we are skipping new business B, I'll move along to C, which is our request to authorize the purchase of some computer hardware. And Ms. McNichol, would you walk us through what that entails?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The legwork on this was done by our IT department. They've done a comprehensive review of computer hardware needs citywide, and they're recommending the quote from Dell. This is primarily replacing aging hardware across the city. The expense is budgeted for in 2024 computer service budget, and any of our older computers being replaced, if they can be repurposed somewhere else in City Hall, we try to get that done before just surplusing them.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Johnson. Any questions for Kathy on this item or any of these computers? All right then. Kathy, would you give us a roll call vote on that item then, please?
Councilmember Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Fulberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got our request to authorize the purchase of a transit vehicle as part of the South Dakota Department of Transportation Section 5311 grant. And here to talk to us about that is Transportation Director Rich. Rich, thank you and welcome to the meeting.
Thank you and good evening. We would like to present this to you for the mayor or city manager to be able to sign for a 2024 Honda Odyssey van. This is a non-ADA van, and this would replace a 2006 van that's got 330,000 miles on it. This would be under our Section 5311 grant 812161. Total amount is $44,037. DOT will cover 80%, and the city would be picking up the remainder of $8,807.40. And we're asking for approval for the city manager to sign for this.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilman Ronayne, any questions for Mr. Krokol as it relates to this purchase? All right. Kathy, would you give us a roll call vote then, please?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Philberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks for joining us, Rich. Next, we've got a request to approve the Department of Transportation funding agreement for our installation of a new railroad crossing signal and roadway upgrades. And here to tell us about that is Stuart Nelson. Stuart.
Thank you, Mayor. You might remember a couple months back, I think it might have been in November, we did a similar agreement for the signals down next to South Fifth Street on Melgard. Essentially what this is just putting in new flashing signals and crossing arms for the railroad crossing at Brown County 19. The city's share of that is of the $184,000 cost is about 10%. Then additionally, we have to put in some signage and make sure that the roadway striping is up to date when they do the work, which is programmed for this summer.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson, a second from Councilman Ronayne. Any questions from the council? Go ahead, Councilman Johnson.
I'm visualizing that location. Currently, there are lights but no arms. Am I correct in that? Or are there arms? There are arms.
There are arms.
Okay.
It's the signal. The signal arms themselves are old, and I think the DOT has kind of termed them functionally obsolete. It's hard to get parts for them and stuff. So, so that's the reason for doing the new crossing arms and
this will be
lights.
an enhancement. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Any other questions from the council? All right, Kathy, would you give us a roll call vote on this one then, please?
Councilmember Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Philberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got our request to approve the South Dakota Street Roadway Improvement Pay Request number 7. Stu?
So this is really just to release retainage which has been held on this project. Obviously, the project's been done for several months now. There is just a little bit of cleanup work that needs to be done yet this spring, and so we are going to hold 1% retainage on this until that stuff is all completed, and that'll take place sometime in April or May.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Councilman Ronayne, second from Councilman Reinbold. Any questions about this payment? All right, Kathy?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Philberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Finally, in our new business segment, we've got a request to approve our 2024 budgeted transfers. Kathy, what can you tell us about those?
Finance is requesting to perform the 2024 cash transfers between funds. These are identified and adopted in the 2024 budget. We're here tonight because state statute requires council approval before the transfer occurs. Finance has reviewed, and we recommend.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Reif and a second from Councilman Reinbold. Any questions about these transfers as you see listed? All right, Kathy, would you give us a roll call vote then, please?
Councilmember Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Philberg,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we've got a review and approval of our claims and payroll. The bills list is for this week, obviously, February 5th, and the pay period for our payroll is January 28th through February 10th.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilwoman Liebelt. Any questions on any of these bills to be paid? Kathy, would you give us the final roll call vote of the evening?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Philberg,
I abstain from the payment to Dakota Bank and aye for the rest.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Reif,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Will abstain to the payment to climate control, and aye to the rest. Motion carries. Next, we've got our city manager's report. What have you got, Robin?
Okay, well, since Mr. Pressler was in here today, I thought it would be appropriate to mention that the veterans, the Legion Group, also came in with a check for us for $1,500, I think it was 2 weeks ago, to put in a water fountain down in the area of the Arboretum. And it's an area they wanted to be able to do something with, for people to be able to enjoy the Moccasin Creek, see the beauty of the Arboretum. Parks and Rec was already going to be doing something in that area, so this just sped the process up a little bit for us. And it will have a watering unit for dogs as well. So it will be a nice addition. So Vern was part of that group, as well as a couple other gentlemen that came in, and we thank them for that donation as well. We also, I mentioned to the council a week or so ago that we did hire Amber Schwab to be our new economic development manager and public information officer. So Amber started a week ago, and we will bring her in probably the next meeting so you can meet her. And she's a very energetic, very enthusiastic individual who will do a good job for us, I'm sure. So we'll welcome Amber to our group. We will be attending meetings in Pierre this week, meeting with legislature tomorrow evening. And last week we also met with legislature, and we're also going to be doing city manager meetings and public work meetings as well this week. So we'll be down there for 2.5 days. And also we had a Zoom meeting with Senator Round's office last Friday to start talking about the process and how to access maybe some Bureau of Reclamation funding, things like that, to try to accelerate how we obtain money to move ahead with the WINS project in a little more expedited fashion. So that's all I've got for tonight.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you to the Legion for that donation, and congratulations to Amber on the hiring of that position. I think that'll be a good fit, as well as Robin had said. So anything else before we take a motion to adjourn this meeting? Okay, I take a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion Reinbold, second Johnson. All in favor, please say aye.
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 And opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.